and welcome back. Today, we're going after those healing mushrooms in another adventure. And as you see, I've done a couple tournaments. Titania got to rank C, and Frog is now rank D. D being a good letter to summate just how much I think of him. But we're a little bit stronger now, a little bit better rounded. And this, I believe, is the last time you're obligated to go through Total Caves. You can, of course, do these as many times as you want, as much as you want, as frequently as you want. But nothing actually forces you plot-wise after this, as memory serves. Now, I could be wrong, it might be one more time, but I don't think it is. In fact, we're actually close to one of my favorite adventures. Well, we're in the plot sequence where it's going to happen. And honestly, it's just a good opportunity for me to get to monologue at you guys. Because I wanted to posit a few ideas. As everyone probably saw on Twitter last night, I announced that next week, which is the last week, August 2020, I'm sorry, 2022, derp, I'm taking a little bit of a vacation, and no videos will be posted at all Monday, Friday next week. We're working on some new projects, and I need a little bit more time, and honestly, I'm a little bit burned out. Not from making the videos, it's actually more real-life concerns. It's just, there's a lot going on, and it's a good opportunity. I won't bore you guys with the details, because, I mean, who cares? We're here for monsters. But that actually gave me an idea. I was thinking, would you guys want to see an update done in live stream format? I mean, I don't know exactly when, or what phase of the game, or I even considered maybe doing Monster Rancher Evo, which obviously would be the game that came after this one, since it's Monster Farm 5 Circus Caravan in Japan. Should we do that as a stream? Would that be a fun opportunity for you guys? It would need to be Wednesday evening due to a new work schedule. But if that's something that's interesting to you guys, go ahead and leave a comment down in the down the comment section, not in the description. Don't comment in my description. I don't want you guys hacking my account just to make a point. Now leave a comment down below and let me know if that'd be something you guys think would be fun. Nunchaku. And it's maybe not 4, because like a lot of my playtime has just been kind of grinding, and YouTube has. Ooh, nice! That's a nice chunk of change right there. I keep getting copyright struck. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if it thinks that the music is something else, or if Tecmo maybe licensed the music development for this game. But it keeps happening, so I'm a little frustrated. So I'm kind of gonna make it a point to show the ranch as little as possible. Weird but true things. Ooh, it's a green chest. If you see a green chest, it usually means it's a rare item. Red chests are more mundane. Ah, document number 8. I don't know if that's one we already have or not. But that's okay. If it is, I'll stop by the library and show that off on video. If it's one that we already have, then I won't. Yeah, I was thinking, Monster Rancher Evo is paced such that I think it would be a really good live stream opportunity. And that would kind of give you guys an opportunity for like a live action kind of Q&A. And rather than, you know, the phone tag that is the comment section, you guys would have a little bit more direct contact. So let me know if you guys think that would be fun. I think Evo in particular would be really good for that. Let's see, next article, Eagle Eyes. I think that's, what, accuracy at a distance? I forget. I think all of his beam moves are intelligence-based, so I think this is kind of useless. Wild Stomp. I think that's a fairly powerful physical move. Oops, wrong button. Oh yeah. There you go. Really high critical hit rate. I don't actually know what the numeric breakdown of the letters are. It's generally just kind of implied. And, high-speed opponents? See, high-speed opponents and up accuracy. I don't 100% know what that means. Like, you can still see your opponent even if they're fast, right? I assume that probably means that it's easier to hit opponents who would otherwise have really, really, like, high speed stats. That's what I'm guessing at any rate. Garus are just really good. I think it's a great starting monster. I think Tecmo really knew what they were doing. That's interesting. You guys saw that, right? My accuracy last time I encountered that same Modillo was 90, and now all of a sudden it's 99. So yeah, Eagle Eyes definitely does something. Junk toy. That's vendor trash. I think you can give those to monsters, but I don't think they really do very much. If they have any kind of profound mechanical effect, let me know. I'd be genuinely curious. And if you're going, Snek, this feels a little bit like a filler episode, well, that's because it kind of is. I apologize, I'm literally recording this, like, right before bed. Toy classes. Right before bed the night before this video is going live. To give a quick rundown, status quo in real life has changed a little bit, and I'm still adjusting to it. So yeah, this all kind of plays into itself. But don't worry, there's going to be videos today, tomorrow, which is Thursday at time of watching, and Friday. There's good stuff. That Fridays I'm really looking forward to because it is the game done by the game dev who did Man from the Window, Beware the Shadowcatcher, and Curse of J.P. Vermander before he did those 3 games. It was brought to my attention that he had done a game that's listed on his itch.io page before those, and I admit I kind of jumped ahead because Man in the Window suddenly got popular, and I really, really wanted to try it out, and it was a lot of fun. But it was a game that actually predates it, and so I'm really curious to give it a try. I haven't actually played it yet, so I can't really say much. But I will have by the time the video goes live for obvious reasons. As great as I am, I can't bend to cause and effect, at least not yet. And the day I can, my channel will finally be bigger than Gem Leader Ed's. As you might have noticed, the caves are always in different configurations. That's why there's no maps. You can see recurring parts of maps, but even then they can be different. You can get the same basic shaped area, but at the same time, the treasure locations can be different, the search locations can be different. And with the way the pieces all come together is obviously going to be different. You can't have truly randomized levels, because obviously there have to be certain parameters. So everything's kind of like in a big grid. Now let me zoom the map out for a second. You kind of see that everything fits in a roughly evenly spaced set of spaces. You can kind of tell how big a tile is at a glance. No, we're going to go ahead. I normally sweep each floor, but I'm not going to do that because we're in a plot mission. I'm not grinding just for grind's sake, believe it or not. So yeah, the way the maps are configured every time you visit is different, which I think is a huge boon, and it's something I'm going to talk about a bit more. Thunderlore. Heal Ring. I think that's actually a healing move, which means it is one of the worst possible moves in the game. Yep. Healing moves in Monster Rancher are universally terrible. They always cost way too much guts, they have a very low rate of actually succeeding, and even when they succeed, they actually don't heal all that much. That was a strategy that I employed back in Monster Rancher 1, when I would coax apes into using their magic banana attack, they would just try to heal themselves after they had done, like, the smallest, most paltry amount of damage. Oh, that's lucky. Document 17. Pretty sure that's one of the newer ones that I don't have. I think you'll only start with, like, 1 to 5. I don't think you get much beyond that. But, yeah. The randomization, I think, really keeps the adventures interesting. And honestly, I've spent a lot, and I mean a lot, of my life in these adventure segments. Now, fun story. Between my friends and I didn't have a PS2. I went GameCube. It was actually my good buddy Cog, who had a PS2 well before me. And he had games like Mega Man X7, he had Monster Rancher 4, a whole bunch of stuff. He had some of the Devil May Cry games, and that's how I kind of got my first exposure to a bunch of them. And me getting to like start my own file on his game was just, he just basically was like, here, have the controller, have at it. And I would just play it at his house, and we were bad. We had no idea what we were doing. By then we had beaten Monster Ranchers 1 and 2, and we were already in high school. But it was also, the truth of the matter was, it was a very different game. There really weren't guides out yet. And we were just kind of learning by doing. So that first file probably wasn't very good. And it was an interesting time. You always get that novelty of starting something fresh, and Monster Rancher 4 felt like that. And it still kind of does. It's so different from other games, and you feel this very hands-on. Fancy Stone, that's a saucer stone, actually. The thing I love about Monster Rancher 4 is how hands-on you are. And giving the player an avatar in the form of Fame, Speedstone, nice. That is a brilliant move, because it makes it so that your interaction with monsters is direct. There was kind of this abstraction of that same basic idea in Monster Ranchers 1 through 3 and the advanced games. It was implied that you were seeing it from your perspective and working together with these characters. But Monster Rancher 4 was the first time I could walk up to Jimmy and hand him this potato and feed my monster by hand. And it created this really, really in-depth and amazing experience that I don't think the series has recaptured. Because I have lots of opinions, in case you guys haven't noticed on my opinion-based channel. Oh! Yeah, lucky shot. That's an Antland, by the way, and as we saw in Advance 2, I love Antlands. But yeah, you had this really hands-on ranching experience that was unique to the series, and it hasn't really been replicated. Evo does things that are kind of similar in terms of how they appear to work, but Evo is a real mixed bag. I don't consider it the worst of the PS2 trilogy, but it's definitely not the best either. And it's a ever get a feeling so complicated kind of moment. Once your monsters hit a certain adventuring level, the amount of XP required for the next level up goes up a lot. And I don't know what the magic cutoff is, or if it's different for each species. It really could be, for all I know. But the Adventure XP, I think, is a great system for learning new monster attacks, because, one, it's not RNG reliant in the same way as the Rantries were in Monster Ranchers 1 and 2, and it's not as stupid as the Orb and Gem system found in Monster Rancher 3. The advanced games, I think, had a generally good idea, but why the sparring had to take a month felt like it had to take a month because a Rantry took a month in Monster Ranchers 1 and 2. The adventure experience makes more sense because you're out there doing something with your monsters. Earthlore. You're doing something with your monsters, they're getting hands-on combat experience, they're seeing more of the world, so the adventure experience makes perfect sense. I really like this system. Now, Evo uses something very similar, and I want to talk about that more when we get the opportunity to later on, because of all things, I think it would work really well in like a Monster Rancher tabletop RPG, like a pen and paper game. And seriously, Tecmo, if you made a Monster Rancher tabletop game, I don't even know what I'd do. I don't have a good comparison, just because I would be so ecstatic. I would just buy the book and a copy of the book for all of my friends, and I'm like, okay, buckle up, guys. We're Monster Rancher now. Tecmo, hit me up. I'll write the book for you. Just give me the license. I'll do it for free. You guys can keep all the money even. I don't even care. I would totally do that just as a passion project. Maybe I should. Maybe I should sit down. Maybe I should make a Monster Rancher pen and paper game and try to get Tecmo to license it. I don't know. I think I could. Fun fact about me, I actually did make a tabletop game. It wasn't particularly balanced, or it wasn't even particularly good, but it existed. I quit making it once I discovered Shadowrun, though. The mushrooms were somewhere around here. What is it? I hear the voice of a monster. It's saying, "Be gone from my territory." Something's headed this way. Watch out, Rio. I don't know how to pronounce exclamation point, exclamation point. But yeah, this is kind of an abridged run through the caves, which is why I wasn't too overly concerned. That's probably a free hit, because foolery is just the worst. This is a rare Naga, by the way. You can actually raise this monster if you get the right disc for it. Yeah. Like I said, this one was kind of a softball. Nothing compared to King Shadin. Wow, that was a real tough one. Oh, look, Snek, over there, the mushroom. Which I will show you for 3 seconds, and then put it in my bag. You're right, that must be the healing mushroom. Wow, Rio, I can't believe you remembered this. Yeah, if I see something once, I rarely forget it. That's why when I picked up the Gaia Stone and saw the vision, I feel like I'd seen it before. Come on, let's go home. We gotta get this tomorrow. Yes, that's right. And we'll jump ahead to that point. And before we get tomorrow, we have some new documents to read. FIMBA is the oldest existing organization. This group is dedicated to monster culture. Not sure what that means, but okay. Most of the famous breeders we know belong to FIMBA, but in recent years, IMA, through the use of training gadgets, has excelled in strengthening monsters for monster battles. This has resulted in a monster strength gap between this group and others. As a result, many young breeders prefer to join IMA over FIMBA. IMA was created with the FIMBA model in mind. IMA has been concentrated on its efforts on the monster battles. As a result, making use of grueling training gadgets to strengthen their monsters more extensively than other organizations. Some monsters, unable to bear the relentless training, run away. In recent years, the increase in stray monsters has developed into a serious problem. The two most well-known jungles in the world are Kalaragi and Pear jungles. I think that's supposed to be Pare, but I'm going to keep saying Pear. Pear Jungle, a resort area, is close to the sea. The exploration tours conducted there allow ordinary people to feel like real-life adventurers. In recent years, the discovery of numerous artifacts of ancient culture in the Kalaragi jungle has surprised academics. However, these investigations have been monopolized by FIMBA, creating a stir among competing organizations. And now that we're here... Philia, we found some healing mushrooms. Here they are. Thank you so much, Snek. I'll make some medicine for them right away. You're too kind, Snek. My back feels just great. Ah, yes, I have something to give you today. Here you are. A letter from Mr. Carnab. What? You mean the FIMBA president, Carnab? Precisely. Carnab's an old friend of mine. I told him about you. Really? Let's see. Dear Snek, I heard about you from Morrow, and you sound like a truly admirable lad. And an excellent fighter. If anybody deserves a breeder's license, it's you. But the real world is not a simple place, so listen to my proposal. First, I must ask you a favor. Have you heard of the Kalaragi jungle? We have, actually. We just got done reading about it. Well, it's a very odd place. The jungle is littered with these gadget thingies. Well, more like junk. And I want to investigate them. So, would you please retrieve the junk? Then, if you pass a little test, I'll give you your license. What do you think? Sound good to you? Hard to believe he's a high-ranking association member. Well, how about it, Snek? Are you ready to take on the challenge? Of course. Well then, it's off to Kalaragi Jungle. Or it will be the next time. I'm gonna cheap out and call that a day. because, again, this was a little bit last minute. But there's more to come. Like I said, I'm going to be taking off next week, but the week after, we'll be right back to it. And you guys will get to see my favorite adventure course, Kaloraki Jungle. This is the Hipster Snek, and I'll see you guys next time. Well, turns out I lied, because this event queued immediately after we got home. This is Snek's Ranch, Okay, here I go. Hello there! Oh, Philia, what are you doing here? Oh, Rio, well, I want to thank you for the other days. That was literally yesterday. Sure, you don't have to thank us. No, I do, and about the battles in Ryuan, you better learn new battle techniques. If you don't learn counters, you'll have a hard time of it. Okay, this is where two things are going to come up. One, I never counter. Countering is a waste of time. And two, the game doesn't like counters. It gets really buggy, and I'm going to apologize because it's going to look bad when it happens. I wanted to warn you, Snek. Counters? What kind of an ability is that? Don't get that excited. It's not that big a deal. And we get kind of a training dummy monster, but there's nothing to fear. It literally won't attack us, despite having maxed life, defense, and accuracy. To counter when an opponent attacks, hold the L2 button, then push the button you think they used. I'll use an X button moves to push the X button. Now, if the counter goes off fine, it looks fine. But if it misses, it bugs out. Great job, Snek. Now you can do counters. You can also change skills by pushing different buttons. Try performing a skill with the L button. Yep, this is actually one of my favorite aspects of this game. With the O button, you perform a skill precisely. Damage is lowered, but you make contact more often. That's a weird way to phrase it, but basically accuracy up, damage down. Next, try performing a skill with the square button. That's the inverse. It will raise the damage and lower accuracy. With the square button, you perform a skill with force. It's hard to make contact, but it does a lot of damage. Try performing a skill with the X button, which, as you guys might have guessed, is the balanced option. Yes, with the X button, you perform the skill normally. Next, try using the X again to perform a skill. And hit chains. Yes, 2 hit chain. Using the same button repeatedly raises damage. It does not. It actually only raises the stat associated with that button input. The hit chain itself will even tell you this. If you use circle repeatedly, it will ultimately raise accuracy each time you do. If you use square repeatedly, it will raise damage, and if you use X, it raises both of them a little bit. So this is counter. Thanks, Philia. Thanks. Well, phooey, you get away from him, girl. What is going on? Why are people just showing up on my front step? TT, you came all this way? Lay off and go home. Now the main character is thinking like me. You sure are charming. You must think you're king of the world. Well, today I'll show you who's the real boss around here. Get your pesky assistant and prepare yourselves. Oh boy. Well, okay. Let's make it a tag battle then. Let's see what you got, TT. I like Philia's face there, like she's just mugging at her. Yeah, it's very heavily implied that Philia and Rio kind of have a thing for Fane. Oh yeah, and a couple things. As someone mentioned in the comments, I forget who, and I apologize. Kellerino and a couple others we'll encounter in the rival battles are special monsters that you cannot raise on your own, but I don't think I'd raise something that tragically 90s. Now, during a tag battle, you can use the shoulder buttons to look at the stats of each monster. Now, for some reason, Ariel has completely different stats than she did a minute ago, but that's because this is another tutorial. Snek, time to learn about tag battles. First, the tag, how to switch monsters. Try pushing the L1 button to switch monsters. Yep, now you switched. In tag battles, you'll be able to use partnership powers. That's quite a mouthful. Take a deep breath, stay still, and wait. That's wrong. You can actually move around all you want. What you can't do is use attacks, because that will reset the timer. There, now your partnership power is charged. I'm going to call them partner attacks from now on, or team up. Then carry out a chase attack. While your partnership power is rising, the skill panel turns red. Select the panel and use the skill. After you perform a skill, the standby partner will do a chase attack. Give it a try. Bonk. Great job, Snek. Now you can do tag battles. And now tag battles are added to our calendar for upcoming battles. There are single, tag, and group battles, and in group battles you can use 3 monsters. I don't believe there's a context in the game where you end up using 5 or 4 monsters, so once again, the optimal number to raise really is 3. Why, you have the nerve to use combinations on me? This is just the pits. I'm going home. Counters and tag moves. This is cool. Thanks, Philia. Not at all. I'm glad you like them. See you around, Snek. Best of luck. No... Team up is useful. Counters, not so much. At any rate, I'll catch you guys in the next story event as we move forward to the Kalaragi jungle. For real this time. Snek out.